ICC, Putin is welcomed here. And no one is going to arrest Putin. If needs be, we'll go and fetch Putin from the airport to his meeting. He will finish all his meetings. We'll take him back to the airport. We're not going to be told by these hypocrites of the International Criminal Court who know the real violators of human rights, who know the murderers of this world. That former Prime Minister of Tony Blair admitted that they made a horrible mistake when it comes to Saddam Hussein. They've not been charged today. Bush is still there. They've not been charged till to date. And then Obama killed Gaddafi. And then nothing has happened. We're here today with Libya being destroyed and unable to recover because of America. We know very well that where NATO gets involved, those are terrorists. We know very well where the US says we're going in to install peace. That place will never know peace as long as America has visited that place. So we don't want ICC's hypocrisy to apply here in our country. President Putin is welcomed. We know our friends. We know the people who liberated us. We know the people who supported us. In Kuto-Konaval, the weapons that were used in Kuto-Konaval that led to the liberation of South Africa were coming from Russia. Russia supplied us with weapons in Kuto-Konaval. Cuba supplied us with soldiers. MK was drunk. Cuba brought the soldiers. Russia brought the armaments. We were supposed to be the ones that are being complimented and supported by these other countries who were found wanting. But let me ask a question, and this is to all South Africans. On the hindsight, which mass campaign of the ANC was ever successful from its formation? Which one? Which mass in history? I'm asking you about history. Let's take Sharpeville. That's not ANC. We all know that. Let's take 1976. The ANC actually issued a statement condemning the children of 1976, only later to hijack the victories of 1976. Where was the ANC when they were calling to run South Africa ungovernable and uncontrollable? There was no ANC in this country in the 80s when the youth took over the streets. There was no ANC. Which mass campaign of the ANC was successful? They came and did a mass campaign on HIV and AIDS. That was one of their mass campaigns. A lot of people died because their campaign was not successful. Which mass campaign? So what Mbalula is doing is what his predecessors did, to always condemn mass actions. And they're not starting now. They're not starting now. They've always been always following activities, but they were very good with propaganda. Someone must go to the papers of Solomon Mahlangu's court. They are there. Someone must go there and go and tell us where Solomon Mahlangu says, my blood will nourish the tree that will bear the fruits of freedom. Tell my people that I love them, they must continue with the struggle. In the Kubari, he said it there in the court. In the court papers, there. That's what the ANC told us. Eh? Yeah. Go and show us that. There was a guy there in the ANC, still very good, but he's no longer active, called Peter Maibuye, Joel Nechtens. Those guys had a department called DIP. Its role was to do those things. Propaganda, they were very good at that. That's why everything else, if you're to tell someone that 1976 is not ANC, is going to be shocked. What are you talking about? What are you saying? Because people just automatically assume 1976 is ANC. It's not. It's not. So it has got no history of mass protest. Why was O.R. Tambo staying in Britain after the British government declared ANC a terrorist organization? If indeed it was an organization that constituted a threat to the white establishment. Okay, let's bring it closer to history. Can you imagine that terrorist that America killed, Osama bin Laden? His organization being declared a terrorist organization, and then he stays in Washington. How do you reconcile the two? That the British government says the ANC, it's a terrorist organization. Its president and his family and children stay in London, and they go to schools in London. Children of Osama bin Laden going to school in Washington. How do you reconcile that? So we shouldn't be told nonsense by people who know nothing about mass mobilization.
Yes, the governing party, the African National Congress, has taken that decision that it is prudent that South Africa should pull out of the ICC, largely because of the manner in which the ICC has been seen to be dealing with these types of problems. And there's also been commentary, I believe, from Amnesty International, where there's been a reflection on what many people believe is an unfair treatment. And our view is that we would like this matter of unfair treatment to be properly discussed. But in the meantime, the governing party has decided once again that there should be a pull-out. So that will be a matter that will be taken forward.